Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nesha and this is KSP. So once again it's time to do another moon rocket here, and I actually have built a full moon rocket here and deconstructed it, so you guys can see how this rocket works and why I did it. So I did it in that way because this time I think I will never ever remember how to put it all up together again. So I decided to go with a lander can. This can contains 2 kerbals instead of 3, but if we check out the mass on the Mark 1-2 pod, it actually weighs for over 4 tons, and this weighs a little bit less, about 1.5 tons less. So yeah, I decided to go with that. So I also put the service bay on top of the lander cam just because I want the weight to be there down there. I think that is beneficial, I'm not sure, but it makes sense in my mind at least. Yeah, so I built a new service bay here, and you can see it can actually fit the big new service bay can actually fit this Science Junior right inside here, so it's protected, so it will not burn up. But you can see directly here this will pose a trouble if we're gonna launch this rocket. So of course I just put on a Rockama brand connector. It's one of these. Let's see, I'm able to show you guys which one it is. It only weighs 0.1 ton, so we only add that. But if it will be a more aerodynamic pod up here, so we have a parachute, and I have some drogues also to slow us down, plus 2 solar panels, and it actually fits well. I should probably put one there, but the thing is why it took me so long time, actually I had problem with the weight. I can do build rockets with total 140 tons or 140 tons, and I can only build for this sum. So yeah, so I have to work so long to make this work. It was really hard because one of the things, I think my engines are a bit aren't very. So yeah, oh, that is a double decoupler. Let's see, I'm just checking which part is which. No, that is not the part I want, so yeah, okay. Let's just fix that. Anyway, I don't know why we got the top on the rocket here. So yeah, so this is my moon, go to moon stage and land to the moon. So yeah, you recognize it is actually very familiar as my usual design. I kind of liked to have 3 engines. We have the Poodle engine is a little bit stronger than these engines, but these engines is kind of like, you can see it in Delta V. The Delta V here, the job of these small engines here is to make the approach to the moon, so we get into the moon's sphere of influence. So where we get, that's the job, and we probably get around 200 Delta V left, and then we will have around 1500 Delta V to land on the moon, orbit the moon. So we want to orbit the moon now because I want to bring Charlene, our scientist, and orbit with her, so we get all the science. So yeah, and that's why we have the lander can here. Yeah, it's been a really hard challenge. Oh yeah, now I remember. It works like that. You see, it fits right inside here. Actually, it's no danger to have it here because I tested this rocket and it doesn't rip my interior engines apart, but it looks really cool that way. And that is always the hard part, I think, building a rocket on a budget. You can do very cool stuff. So of course I added this part here. I added afterwards just to get more Delta V, and as you can see, up to now we only have 2000 Delta V for let's see, stage 5. Yeah, this part here, they are missing their engine for the moment. Let's see if I can find our engine. I remember what I did there, so I will do it fastly here. I actually added this part afterwards. You see, I added a part here and there. See the smaller tanks on with one. Let's see. It's a smaller tank. I added actually that because that was exactly around 1500 delta V, and that's this kind of what I need to make an orbit around Kerbal. So yeah, so we are almost done here. It's a very fast way to show the rocket. So yeah, this will be our lifter bars, and as you can see, it's a very compact. I decided to go with 6 of these engines here. I will show you here, and if you, it's quite easy to it's easy math because there are 360 degrees around the ship. So if I divide that with 3, that's 60, and then if I divide that with 2, that's 30. So if I have 30 here, I can make so it's 6 engines around here, and that is what I did. And then let's see here. It's even connecting this stuff. Nice. So, and as you can see, I added all of these, and you can see here the total one is 2967. And let's see, we will want to add those engines to. There we go. And it goes down a bit, but we need that, as you can see now, and that's why I needed so many engines, because yeah, they are very weak, so I need a lot of them to work at the same time to even to do lift all of this stuff here. That's why it became such a compact rocket, and why it took me so long time to make it work. So let's see here, let's add this one too. Oh, it hooked everything up after I did the construction. That was really cool. So, at the moment it's not working here, you can see, but we need to move all the engines here. All these engines, we want them to fire at the same time. So we get a strong thrust, especially in the fat part or atmosphere from the launch pad. And as you can see, this made those numbers very good here. Let's see if it has remember my order of things. Let's see, I'm mousing over here. Yeah, that's the first part we get rid of. Yeah, it seems like it has remembered the order of things, how I did it, and then it goes. So let me explain that again. They called it something on the forums. I just picked it up because it's very effective. These one, you can see the line. You can see those arrows. That means that it will drain that tank first, and then as we have arrows there, another connection there, it will drain that tank there, and lastly it will drain that tank. And that means that the big strong engine I have here will fire all the time. It will fire all the way. It will be the last engine of this short stage, a very compact stage made up to there. We can see the coupler there. So yeah, so now we can see my I made it. There we go, 3601 delta V. So that's more than enough. And as I said before, I had to add these small tanks to the thing. And then I had another problem. This is not a very aerodynamic rocket, so that's why you see so many fins here. And as you can see on my budget here, see the budget here, I'm very close to my maximum. I can't afford. What I really wanted to do here was to this fin here, one thick big fin there and one there. But in the end of things, it worked out because I had a problem because this is very top heavy because I have the engines and stuff there, so I had to put a lot of fins just to make it work. And those fins was the cheapest one. I think if I could afford it, I would put one fin there. So 4 fins. It's better with the bigger fins because they're more effective. So yeah, that was what I struggled about. But you can see at the stats here, we can launch in. If I click here, atmospheric. I just found out about this feature. It's awesome. Because this is what I will have in the thick part of the atmosphere. And we can see the first stages has no problem, because if that is lower than 1, that means that we will actually lose speed instead of gain speed. The ship will not be able to lift itself by the engine, so that's a really cool thing. So this is designed to all this part up to here is designed just to put us in orbit, and these engines to our moon part sorry, I have to drink. So this part here in the moon stage, they should only work on the moon stuff. So, and you can see the problem right here. If we go to stage 3, this stage way, you can see the mass of these ways, and you maybe don't know 1000 kilos on a ton if you're not used to the metric system. So I have to find ways to minimize my weight and still get a good thrust, especially the thicker part of the atmospheres and lifting all of everything. Later, when I get a mainsail, I think is like almost two-thirds stronger than this engine. I can probably lift directly without even having to resort to so many these rockets here. That's only work is to just keep the thrust to weight ratio above 1. So yeah, so this is compact rocket. It's not very good looking, but it's functional at least. And probably you can do it in a lot better way, and then I have done it. Also remember, now this is have to remember to struts too, also because the attachment points on this rocket are all the way down here. So it means if you don't use any struts or anything, this thing will just wobble back and forth and create problems. Also with this one, because it don't lift anything. I know not. That's why I put it like that. It doesn't really matter, because when we are using this part and thrusting with it, we will be in space and in vacuum, so we don't have to struggle with weight and so on. So that's why I done here. But you have to be very careful about here. So I can't afford lamps on this build. Yeah, so I thought it was a better way to do it, especially because I had to work a very long time to put everything together, and I don't think I could build it from scratch, from memory. So yeah, that's why I did it here. So yeah, so this is my compact ship. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was everything about my new compact ship for the moon. So we will actually launch this in the next episode and go to the moon, which I think we want to go with Valentina and Charlene, because Charlene will reset all our experiments we have in this service bay, and we just need Valentina as a pilot. Is next episode, so we'll use there. As you can see here, I decided with the long yeah, I'm jumping for the scene, but yeah, I decided I don't have room to make my structural, so I have a wider landing base, so I just attached them directly to the tanks. But after all, this these rocket parts are a bit thicker and fatter, so I think we have a wide enough base, even that it is quite... It's also... I can show you. As you can see, it's actually quite a tall one, but I think all the weight is in that direction. So, and remember, these parts will only take us to the moon, so we won't have them while we are landing, so we don't have to worry about that. But I think that base is wider enough. It's harder when you put landing gear directly on these thin rocket parts, the smallest rocket parts here, because that's not wide enough. But I think I don't need extra structure for a wider landing base on these tanks. So yeah, that was everything for this episode, and as always, thank you for watching.